Hello and welcome to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
And across from me is Brett Chapin. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us on La La Land.
Yeah.
This is the only nationally broadcast show by Los Angeles artists about Los Angeles artists on episode 97.
Already 97. It's very exciting.
We're almost at 100. Look at that.
I know. Wow.
Getting close. 3 weeks away. Good stuff. Another jam-packed show, Dorothy.
Oh boy, here we go. Ugh.
It's let's talk for. I want to find out what's been going on with you with your teaching that you're doing right now, your shows that you're working on.
Yeah, I'm in rehearsal right now with Theater Palisades Youth, and I am directing Disney's High School Musical Junior, which is awesome. I have 18 very enthusiastic, talented young people that are joining me, and they're hilarious. I gotta say, what I love is that it's a popular film that's been adapted to a stage show, but what I've asked them to do is really leave those preconceptions of those characters behind and find their own little nugget that's their own thing about it. So that's been exciting for me that they've met that challenge. And
Finding their own thing about that makes it unique for them.
Exactly.
Very
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
the
going well?
songs are great. There's a new song that's in the stage show that's not in the film. It's called "Counting on You," and it's really good. But it's got a nice hook. So
Nice.
I'm enjoying hearing the new song and working with the standards of that show as well.
I got to see that movie before
No,
I see the show.
No, well,
Or should I
just
see the
come
show
see
first?
it. Just come see the show first, and we open
Okay.
March 1st, and we have great schedule March 1st through 3rd, Friday, and then also the 7th through the 10th. And on Fridays we're at 7:30, Saturdays we're at 5 o'clock, which is a great time to bring all the kids because it's about an hour 15 show, and then you have plenty of time to go get froyo or dinner or whatever afterwards, and then Sundays at 2. So
I like
that's-
how you started with froyo and then went to
you know
dinner.
what? I'm around kids a lot, and I know my audience. I am no fool. I know what the kids like. After they're like froyo.
Don't you take them to Baskin Robbins sometimes after the shows too?
I do. I really. I personally like ice cream better, but I understand the DIY enjoyment of a good froyo shop too. So.
Nice. Go for your froyo and for your High School Musical starting on March 1st.
March 1st.
TheaterPalisades.com/youth theater.
I think so. It should be on the front page by now though, so you can grab tickets and all kinds of fun stuff.
Perfect. And also playing right now at Theater Palisades is Has Anybody Here Seen Roy, written by our amazing box office manager, Diane Grant.
Yeah, I'll be in the seats tonight. I'll
Awesome.
be there tonight.
Have you seen it yet?
Not yet. I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You'll love it. It's great.
Cool.
Playing now through February 17th. Go to
Mhm.
theaterpalisades.com or theaterpalisades.org for all your information on that. Theater Minute.
LA Theater Minute.
Is it time for the Theater Minute?
Yeah, it's time for the minute. TikTok.
Let's do it. Okay, so this is our Theater Minute where we talk about different shows that are going on in Los Angeles. It usually takes more than a minute, but here it goes. Boston Court right now is playing Cassiopeia right now through February 24th. Go to bostoncourt.com for any information on that. And As the World Goes Round is opening at the NoHo Arts Center tonight. I'm going to that. It's going to be awesome.
Very cool with our friend Kristen Towers Rolls doing
Yes.
in that. Mm-hmm.
Our former guest co-host.
Yes.
And Michael Sterling is working on the PR for that.
Oh, great.
And it's playing tonight through March 10th. Go to plays411.net for any information on that. It's playing Fridays and Saturdays at 8, Sundays at 3 o'clock. I think that's it for our Theater Minute.
Was there one from Von Bach? Did you get one recently?
No.
At the Fremont Center Theater, there's going to be what is it called? The Next Arena is doing a show called Von Bach, and I think it's its third incarnation of the show, and it's fascinating. It's about this character Von Bach. It's a mixture of romance, horror film, all these crazy elements on stage, and I literally screamed out loud during a performance because I was so scared at something. So I think that opens the 14th at Fremont. So yes, I'll have more information later, I promise.
Very nice. We'll put it on our Facebook for
Yes.
those that are looking for it.
Yes.
I don't know how you combine a horror movie and a romance, but that's pretty cool.
I didn't think it was possible, and
Yeah.
I was very, very skeptical when I sat down in my seat, but a friend of mine, Owen Hammer, was the writer, and so I was like, all right, I'll go see your stuff. You can come see all my kids shows. He does. He like shows up to every single one, and I sat, and it was hilarious, and it had the romance thing, and was scaring me to death. So
Love it.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
times. Yeah.
Oh, and congratulations to Actors Equity, by the way. They bought a new building in North Hollywood.
Right. They sure did.
Giving the Valley a try, guys. I love that. It's going to be a huge leap forward for the NoHo Arts District, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Great. Well, congratulations to Equity, and it's one more wonderful thing to happen in their centennial year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Big times.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Big time.
I remember how I got my card. That was fun. I got my card doing, it was the Center Theater Group at their Playwrights Festival back in 2000. And I had done a workshop, one of those casting director workshops with Paul DeMacrylis. And he had this new play. And it was this part that everybody played one part except for this one actor or actress who played 4 different roles. And I did one of them in the workshop. And he called me later and he goes, hey, can you come down and audition? And I was like, sure. You never hear from these workshop things. I'm sorry for anybody who does, advertises workshops, whatever. But sorry, but so I went down there and read for David Lee, who at the time was directing Frasier. And that was really exciting. And so I got to do that. And I thought it was just a kind of a, one and done sort of thing, 2 weeks of rehearsal down in downtown. I took the train and all that. And all of a sudden Equity emails me and they're like, hey, you're now a member, because it's a staged reading. So everyone is considered a lead. So you're automatically in Equity.
Wonderful.
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
And it's great that tied into David Lee, since he's such a huge friend of the Pasadena Playhouse and such a huge supporter and an artist. He directed Art last year with Bradley Whitford.
Very cool.
And Roger Bart. And he directed a revisal, is what they're calling it these days, of Can, of Cole Porter's Can. I think in 2007, and they just announced that that's going to be going to Broadway in 2014.
Jeez.
That's exciting.
And because of his close relationship, Mr. Lee's close relationship with the Burroughs estate, they were able to revise the book, and so it's very exciting. So I'm glad that you have a great thing to say about him, as do we. So. Oh yeah,
because he would ride. He was like, "How do you get here?" And I was like, "Oh, I take the train." He goes, "I think I'll try riding the train." So we would ride the train together, and I'm so intimidated. I was so intimidated. I'm like, so rehearsal was nice today. Really cool. I'm almost off book. I mean, I know it's a stage reading and all, but
guys, those two awesome voices that you're hearing off camera are two amazing guests today, Julio Amaya and Jonathan White of the Pasadena Playhouse, and Julio Amaya of Teen Adventure Challenge, and we're going to be talking with them a little bit later on.
It's actually Arroyo, but Amaya is my mom's my second last name, and that's totally okay because I've always liked that name.
Yeah, Brett always butchers names.
You use
I
Amayo.
use both.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the Facebook you see both. Sorry.
Well, you got to tell me these things before I get on air.
It's, we like to keep things interesting.
Yeah. All right, good stuff.
Now Brett
but she's right.
I'm
I'm famous for butchering names.
Yeah, like last week's it was Jessica Kubzansky, not Kubansky, and then it was Benny Aguayo, but you were saying
Aguayo.
Aguayo, right?
Yeah.
But it's
these difficult names. Not everybody's Smith or White.
Well, yeah. I was just about to thank you then for getting mine correct.
Yeah. I got that.
It's pretty foolproof, I think.
Yeah.
Guys, if you have any questions for either Jonathan White or Julio
Arroyo,
give us a call at 323-247-7443, 323-247-7443. I should say, I guess we can just go into the question. We're giving away 2 free tickets.
Wow.
For Pasadena Playhouse's Fallen Angels for any performance except for opening night.
That is amazing.
It is whoever wins. It's the performance of your choice. Any performance now until February 24th, with the exception of tomorrow, February 3rd. Fallen Angels is a great, it's a comedy masterpiece by Noel Coward, who is, a favorite of just about everybody.
So what you're going to want to do is give us a call at 323-247-7443 with the answer to this question. Jonathan?
Yeah. Okay. The question is, who was the star of the original production of Noel Coward's Fallen Angels, which I believe was in 1925 or 26? This actress, who was the star, has also been portrayed herself on stage at the Pasadena Playhouse. So just call us with the name of that actress, and you win the 2 free tickets.
It's that easy. 323-247-7443. 323-247-7443. Call now with the answer to that question.
Get on Google, people.
Why are you laughing, Dorothy? What's wrong with you?
Dorothy, are you Googling over there on your phone
No,
as
I'm
we
not
speak?
Googling.
Oh, okay.
I swear.
That's a conflict of interest. I don't know if you
I
can.
can't win.
You're ineligible.
I'm a winner,
It's
but
sad.
I can't win this one.
Yeah.
323-247-7443. Call now. I want to thank Actors Entertainment Network and Actors E. I did an interview with them on Monday.
Mhm.
It's very, very different having people ask you questions and then asking people questions. But it was cool. I had a lot of fun. So thank you so much to Actors E. What I forgot to do during that interview was thank. I was talking a lot about Theater Palisades.
Mhm.
I didn't thank my marketing team.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you to my amazing marketing team, since I didn't say it during the interview. And also a shout out to LA Stage Alliance, who I was not able to mention during the interview as well. I guess we're gonna go right to our next, our first guest, right before we get back to Jonathan White and Julio
Arroyo.
Arroyo. I'm gonna let you say that every time now.
That works for me. It'll become a soundbite regularly used throughout the show.
Yeah.
Just random Arroyo. And just throw it into things. Our other guest that we're gonna be talking with before Julio and Jonathan is Leslie McCollum from Preschool Gems. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Rex, come here.
we're going to be talking. He's out of here. He's done. We're going to be talking to Leslie McCollum of Preschool Gems in just a minute when we get back. She has a Twitter account, twitter.com/preschoolgems. Check it out. She has written a book. These are all quotes from preschoolers.
Oh
Pretty cool,
God!
huh?
I mean, I was
That's
losing
awesome.
it reading all those quotes. It's hysterical. It is
Oh.
so funny.
Doesn't anybody want to play Princess Unicorn Puppies with me? Was one of them. So cute. And this is Dorothy's adorable son, Rex,
Do you want the mic? You get the earphones.
who hates La La Land. He hates it. He hates it. Let's go to commercial and come back with Leslie McCollum of Preschool Gems. Leslie, go ahead and give us a call now at 323-247-7443. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk and Twitter at twitter.com/LaLaLandTalk. You can send us an email at lalalandtalk@gmail.com. And we'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Dorothy on LA Talk Live. Welcome back to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
Hey there. Hey Brett Chapin. How are you?
I'm all right. And we are on the line today with Leslie McCollum of Preschool Gems. I hope this is her on the line. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
So Leslie McCollum is a preschool teacher who started a Twitter feed called Preschool Gems. That's at Preschool Gems. You guys should all be checking it out for gems such as this. You know what? Elvis and MCA died. MCA was sick for a long time, and Elvis ate too many sweets.
It's true. It's sad but true.
Leslie, how did you, well, I know obviously how you got the idea for Preschool Gems because you're inspired every day, I'm sure. But can you tell our audience a little bit about how it all began for you? And if you have any questions, I should say, for Leslie, give us a call at 323-247-7443.
Yeah, sure. I had been teaching for a little while, and I was just amazed by the things that the kids would say, and like I had never spent extended periods of time around kids that age before, and I just didn't really realize how ridiculously creative they are, and like, you know, they all believe in magic and stuff. So like the things that they're talking about are just kind of insane and wonderful and so relevant. I think, I don't know. I was amazed, and I felt I would try to keep track of them in my head, but then when I would forget one, I would get so frustrated and be like, oh, it was so amazing. I'd tell my friends about them and stuff. And so then I started keeping paper lists of them, and people were like, you need to share these. And so I started posting them on the Twitter, and people seem to really like it, which is great.
And you have how many followers now on Twitter? It's pretty ridiculous.
Somewhere around 185,000 or something.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I'm just glad people like it.
Oh yeah, I got a good giggle out of all of them. My son is 4 years old, and they're very unpredictable, as we saw recently. Because I had him in here, and then he was like, no. When he gets upset, he tends to talk like he's Christopher Walken. He goes, no, I cannot put on the headphones.
Oh.
I
heard him. I'm sorry he won't be able to join us, but I understand. I've tried, to put them on the spot before. I had hoped at my book readings to have kids there talking, but it just doesn't, they can't do it when they don't want to do it. You can't put them on the spot.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. Oh, they're a hoot.
And you wrote these all down, and you put them in a book. People can buy it on Amazon.com. Is that right, Leslie?
Yeah, you can buy it at Amazon or your local bookseller.
Has this changed since you've been writing them down and keeping track of the gems? Has it changed anything about your style of teaching at all?
It really hasn't. I find, the one thing is that I think I've always been really interested in dialogue. Even since I was a kid, I was always very focused on the word choices that people make, and I love just like listening to these kids literally learn how to use language to express what's going on inside of them. And so if anything, it's probably made me more attuned to that. But a lot of times, honestly, I get too busy in the classroom to focus on writing things down, and there's been times when I've missed really awesome stuff, unfortunately, because it was just too hectic and I didn't have a notepad there, or I didn't, have my phone there to write it down. So
sure,
that's always a bummer.
What are some of your favorites? Your personal favorites?
One of my favorites that I can remember, there was this girl that we had at the school a couple of years ago who, I guess at some point someone had explained the concept of life to her and like what life means and all this, and she was talking about life a lot, and I got some really great quotes out of that time in her life, so to speak. But at one point, another girl in the class was kind of throwing a tantrum, and this other girl grabbed her by the shoulders and just said, "Remember what I told you in the bathroom. Life is more important than anything." That cracked me up. I think it's like so awesome, the things that they say. I feel like they're almost inspiring, like life advice, self-help quotes. I try to use them in my own life, actually. And another one that really stuck with me, a girl came up to me and she just put her hand on her hip and looked at me very matter-of-factly and said, "Do you know how babies die? They grow up and they get old."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, it's true.
It makes total sense.
Oh yeah.
Kids are so logical.
And I love it when they vocalize their thought process. I was teaching a kindergarten class in theater, and the whole process, I had to go to their classroom, get them, and walk them to another classroom. And the rule is you need to stay in line, don't run ahead. And some of the kids ran ahead, and the little boy standing next to me said, "I wanted to run ahead, but my brain said I shouldn't. So I listened to my brain." And I said, "Oh, that was great. That's good
Awesome.
to listen to you." And that one,
That's awesome.
I love that. Or when you ask them questions, because you as a teacher, you try to give them open-ended questions so that they can discover the answer. It's not like
Totally.
And so we were talking about, I was trying to introduce the mirror game, when you're mirroring somebody else. And I didn't just say like, it's the mirror game. So I said, well, where do you look in the morning before you leave the house to make sure you're dressed okay to go to school? And they all thought about it. They're all sitting around, they're thinking. And then this one little girl, her hand just shot up like she had it. She had the answer. And she said, you look in your shirt, and if you see the tag, You turn it around.
Oh,
Oh,
And,
that's awesome.
and the thing was, she's right. She is absolutely
Yeah.
right. Yes, that is absolutely true. That is what you do.
At that age, the main thing is your shirt on backwards or not?
Oh, all the time. There's so many kids that show up with like backward shirts, and they're trying hard. That or the barn door is open. So,
Oh yeah.
all the time. I'm like, honey, the barn door's open. What? Your zipper's down.
one of my favorite ones of your preschool gems, Leslie, is the one that says, "I have a great idea. If we eat all of our food, we'll turn into puppies, and then we'll turn into the whole world, and then we'll just stay that way."
Yeah, I was like,
it.
okay, yeah, then eat all your food, I guess.
Makes total
I
sense.
can't argue with that logic.
Leslie, people can find preschool gems at Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com as well.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about and for your Twitter account.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Make sure you follow Preschool Gems, twitter.com/preschoolgems. And we will be back with Jonathan White of the Pasadena Playhouse on La La Land with Brett and Dorothy on LA Talk Live. Welcome back to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
That's Brett Chapin right there.
And we are joined today by Pasadena Playhouse's subscriptions manager, Jonathan White. If you have any questions for Jonathan, be sure to give us a call at 323-247-7443, 323-247-7443. And all you have to do is give us a call and answer the previous trivia question that we asked for 2 free tickets to Fallen Angels.
Yeah, we'll repeat the question too if you missed it
Yes.
the first time. Who was the star of the original production of Fallen Angels by Noel Coward, who herself has been portrayed on stage at the Pasadena Playhouse? That is the question. Answer that question, and you get the 2 free tickets.
It's that easy.
It is that easy.
323-247-7443. Call now. And Jonathan White, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me, Brad and Dorothy. I'm so glad to be here on La La Land.
Yes.
I've been a big, fan of the show for a long time, so it's really wonderful to be here.
We're a big fan of Pasadena Playhouse.
Well, thank you. So am I. It's a really wonderful. I mean, it's the State Theater of California. It's the official State Theater of California since 1937. And it's just an irreplaceable, legendary place of entertainment on the West Coast.
I'd have to agree. We've had the pleasure of speaking with Sheldon Epps.
Yes, Sheldon has been the artistic director at the Playhouse for 15 years now, since 1997. I guess it'll be 16 years this year, and has really, given the theater sort of the national spotlight and recognition that it deserves. Which is really extraordinary. He has directed. I mean, Baby It's You premiered at the Playhouse a few years ago. Sheldon directed that on Broadway. Afterward, he directed Intimate Apparel there this fall, and in May, it's just been announced that he is going to be the director of the world premiere Sleepless in Seattle, the musical.
Oh wow.
That's a big deal for you guys.
If you like
great.
Sleepless in Seattle, and who doesn't love Sleepless in Seattle?
Yeah.
It's one of the most romantic, sweet movies of all time. This musical is going to be really extraordinary. Sheldon, he's an incredible virtuoso. He's an amazing director. And that's going to be May 24th through June 23rd at the Pasadena Playhouse. And you can find more information about that, pasadenaplayhouse.org.
I had the pleasure of going to Pasadena Playhouse recently for a Snow White Christmas.
Yes, that was an amazing show. It was a panto, a traditional British panto, and those have been done in Great Britain since time immemorial, during the holidays. But it's the Lithgow family,
Right.
Chris Lithgow and Becky Baling and Bonnie Lithgow, and they're really trying to bring the panto here and make it a holiday tradition in the United States too, and it's so much fun, and it was such an incredible pleasure, to do that co-production with them. This winter, and hopefully we'll be working with them again to do another one.
It was very cool to see Neil Patrick Harris as the Magic Mirror.
Yes,
Good
yes,
stuff.
he made an on-screen appearance as the Magic Mirror, and then he made an in-person appearance on opening night, and he was there, and that was wonderful. So it was a great show. It brought a lot of young, new audiences to the Playhouse, which is so important. I mean, that's just how theater is going to go on from generation to generation. everybody knows,
Yes.
as you all know, especially those of you who work with kids.
Right.
So it really brought so much new blood and so many new faces to the Playhouse, and we hope they'll all come back and continue to see shows there and then subscribe, which is something I have a vested interest in.
And speaking of subscriptions,
well, yes, my title is subscriptions manager. I'm part of the marketing staff of the Pasadena Playhouse, so my main responsibility is organizing and sort of overseeing the marketing campaign of the subscription season, that you sell as a package. But the marketing team there, I mean, it's just the most extraordinary group of people I've ever gotten to know. Patty Onigan, Joel Heil, Jewel Moore, literally three of the most hardworking people who I've ever heard of, and it's just such an honor to be a part of that team and to work with Sheldon, who I admire so much, who's really a legend in his own right. And then our new executive director, Elizabeth Doran, she is incredible. The time I've spent with her so far, she's really an amazing presence. She's going to do amazing things for the theater. So it's a very, very exciting time, and it's a 95-year-old theater. It's going to have its centennial in 2017. And right now, as you've said, is Noel Coward's Fallen Angels. It's a great, great comedy by Noel Coward. I encourage everybody to go see it. You can find more info on PasadenaPlayhouse.org.
And you guys also have Janis Joplin show coming up.
We do, yeah.
Cool.
One night with Janis Joplin. It is a Janis Joplin show. It's this amazing actress named Mary Bridget Davies who portrays Janis Joplin. It played in Washington, D.C. at the Arena Stage to rave reviews, to sell out
the
houses.
Arena?
Yes, well, the Arena's legendary as well. It's
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Arena. It played in Cleveland and Portland, but it's making its California debut. It's never been in California before, and it's going to be at the Pasadena Playhouse starting on March 15th. And what's great about this show is that the Janis Joplin estate is working very closely on it. So it's very much with the full support and the participation of the estate.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a really exciting show. It's gonna be more like a rock concert, actually. So hopefully, a lot of people who go to the Roxy and go to the Canyon Club and aren't necessarily the theater crowd are gonna come out to the Playhouse and see that. And that show as well, you can get more info at PasadenaPlayhouse.org.
How cool to see a rock show in a 95-year-old theater.
It is. It's a great melding of the old and the new, and that's how I felt when we had Snow White also. It was, all these bright, young, eager, exciting faces sitting in this gorgeous, space that was built in 1924. And that's just a really satisfying thing to see that meld going on.
Great.
So
now, as subscription manager, do you are you in on the meetings, or do you kind of voice any opinion when it comes to setting the the season?
That's really a decision that's made by Sheldon, in conjunction with Elizabeth, our executive director. That's something that we sort of find out about as it's in the various stages of planning. And I know that right now they're hard at work planning the 13-14 season. So, a big subscription campaign is going to roll out for that later in the spring. And there are going to be many more wonderful, exciting shows. And the three shows that are going on now, Fallen Angels, followed by Janis Joplin, followed by Sleepless, which is a very, very exciting lineup. We're selling a 3-show subscription for that.
Oh, nice.
So, which is, it starts at $60. It's amazing. $60 for 3 shows is pretty incredible. And it goes up from there. So, once again, more info, PasadenaPlayhouse.org.
$20 a show?
That's nothing.
I know, it's crazy.
Amazing.
It's crazy, yeah.
Spend that on lunch.
Yeah. And so that's where prices start for the 3 show. We try to make sure that everybody, no matter what their budget situation, is able to come and be a subscriber and come enjoy everything that we do, because it's such an amazing collection of work and stories and artists who are gracing our stage, and we want everybody to be able to come enjoy that.
And it looks like it
cool.
sounds like you Pasadena is going with some great classics like Coward, but also isn't afraid to jump in and do something brand new. Yeah,
because there are people who want to see that, and then there are people who want to see the rock sort of thing with Janis, and then people who love world premieres, especially world premiere musicals, based on movies that everybody loves, and I think Sleepless in Seattle is going to be just an incredible show.
Yeah.
That we're terribly excited about it.
Excellent.
So
I can't wait to hear what the music and that sounds like.
I know.
Yeah. It's I think it's it's gonna
Well,
It's gonna be
maybe
great.
maybe we could have someone come in and sing a song for us on our show.
I think that would be wonderful.
Just-
I'd love that.
I'll talk more to Brett about that as
Yeah.
it gets closer, and we'll
Let's do
see
it.
if there's anything we can do.
because we have a space.
Yes,
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
yes, you do.
And Sheldon is always welcome on La La Land Talk.
Well, I know he had a
Sheldon
great
has-
time when he was here a while ago last year, and so hopefully he'll come back at some point. But he's a very sweet, generous, wonderful, brilliant man.
Mhm.
And it's amazing to know him and work with him.
One of my favorite Sheldon stories is when I went to see a Snow White Christmas.
Mhm.
I went up to him in the lobby, and he was just kind of standing off by himself, just kind of looking around with that Sheldon half grin, that he does. And I said, hi Sheldon, how are you doing? And he said, nice to see you, Brett. And he said, I cannot believe the energy
Yeah.
in this building right now. He gets so jazzed about the energy there on opening night.
Oh, definitely. Not just opening. I mean, he loves being in there and being and seeing the audiences and seeing,
Yeah.
people enjoy the show and have transformative experiences. I mean, that's really so fulfilling. To all of us, really. That's why we do what we do, is to be able to bring that to everybody. As we all know, going to the theater and seeing an amazing show is unlike any other experience that you can have as a human being.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's one of the most powerful things that I've ever experienced multiple times in my life, very fortunately so. So I think anytime that kind of energy is there, that's something that Sheldon delights in. That's something we all love.
Something really special
Yeah.
about that.
Very much.
There's a lot of really good restaurants around the area too. I've gone to eat around there.
Yes. The area is called the Playhouse District, and so if you're going to the Pasadena Playhouse, there's no shortage of places to go experience a multitude of culinary delights.
Very nice.
Pretty much any persuasion of food that you could be interested in, you can find in the area. And subscribers get, a smattering of various discounts and special
Ooh,
offers at various restaurants in the area. So
I love a
that's-
deal.
I know. Well, everybody loves the deal. That's why
Gotcha.
people subscribe in the first place. And we
There
have
you go.
subscribers from all over Southern California. We have subscribers from Oklahoma.
Really?
Yep, who are flying in to see shows. We have
Get
subscribers
out.
who live in Nevada.
My husband's from Oklahoma.
So, well, if he has family there, tell him that there's other, Oklahomans who are subscribing.
I will. We will be there in April. I will tell them,
Good.
hey, this is not, now you got to come visit more often because you have your subscription to the Pasadena Playhouse.
Good,
So
yeah,
hop the plane and let's go.
exactly. Well, and people do come from all over the world to see the shows there. I mean, people came to see Snow White Christmas from the UK and from Australia, from the East Coast of the United States. And that show had a great deal of pull for a lot of people. So it was really, really extraordinary.
I look forward to being in the seats.
Well, we look forward to having you in the
Woohoo!
season, Dorothy.
PasadenaPlayhouse.org. We are giving away 2 free tickets to Fallen Angels at PasadenaPlayhouse.org. Give us a call at 323-247-7443. First person to call, we're going to put you on the phone and ask you the trivia question. Or you know what? Let's just remind them now. It might be
Okay,
better.
yes. The
Yeah.
trivia question is, who was the star of the original production in Noel Coward's Fallen Angels, who herself has been portrayed as a character in a play on stage at the Pasadena Playhouse?
323-247-7443. 2 free tickets for any night except for opening of Fallen Angels.
Okay.
And you're also working on a show with Gia Mora.
Yes,
who's
well,
been a guest on the show as well.
Gia Mora has been a guest on the show. Gia Mora is an indescribably amazing artist. She combines music, comedy, science, physics, math, everything. And her cabaret show, we're actually doing a new one, a world premiere called Gia Mora is Einstein's Girl. And I guarantee it's like nothing you've ever seen before. If you have any desire to really wow yourself, you have to go to the show. It's extraordinary. Gia is a legend in Washington, D.C., in the cabaret scene there. She's performed at the Kennedy Center. She's performed at Ford's Theater. She's done so much there. And L.A. people, are starting to discover how extraordinary she is. And her star is really, really rising in the business, as an artist. And she's just extraordinary. And I'm so happy to be co-producing with Gia. The world premiere of Gia Mora is Einstein's Girl. It's going to be at the Gardenia in Hollywood. The Gardenia, as you know, is a legendary space. A lot of people have performed there.
Great space.
It's wonderful. It's sort of it's been there for years and years and years. It's right on, where is it, Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood. And Gia's show, Einstein's Girl, is going to be on Thursday, February 21st at 9 p.m.
Nice.
You have to call and reserve. The number is 323-467-7444. That's 323-467-7444. Everybody listening, I heavily urge you to call, reserve now. It's going to be an incredible evening of entertainment. It's going to be, Gia, accompanied by the amazing Charlie Barnett, who has been Gia's accompanist for a long time. Charlie is an Emmy Award nominee. He's composed for Weeds. He's composed for Saturday Night Live. He's an incredible artist in his own right. And the combination of him and Gia. Plus, we're introducing a brand new component, who is an extraordinary singer-songwriter violinist by the name of Devin Kelly, and Brett is laughing because he knows that Devin is my wife. But
You're biased.
She's going to be an
Well,
amazing.
I would hope so.
Part of this act. She's going to be doing an opening act, and then she's going to be accompanying Gia and Charlie on the electric violin.
The electric
The
violin.
electric violin. How often do you see an electric violin? Not very often.
Not very often at all.
And I bet, when people see an electric violin on stage, that's a whole nother reason to make the show memorable.
Right, yes.
So Devin's going to be collaborating with Gia and with Charlie on that, so it's very exciting.
That's a
Yeah.
great sound, I bet.
I had to step away there for a second, but I cannot wait to see the show.
It's going to be an incredible show, and I mean, it's just the most amazing group of artists. Gia's extraordinary. I believe with all my heart that she is going to be one of the shining beacons of American musical theater and American comedy. I mean, she is an incredible artist, and I just cannot encourage people enough to make the reservations now. Gia Mora is Einstein's Girl, the Gardenia in Hollywood, February 21st. It's a Thursday, 9 p.m. The number to call is 323-467-7444 for reservations. You can also get more information on giamora.com. GIAMORA.com.
Cool.
We gotta get Gia back on the show.
Oh, we're gonna get Gia back on the show. I don't know
great.
what it's like in the next few weeks. I'd love to get her back to talk about this. But she has a variety of other exciting projects in the works too, and she's always doing something. She is a woman of boundless energy and boundless enthusiasm, and she has, as you know, one of the biggest hearts in the world. She's
a sweetheart.
She has so much generosity, so much love, and so much delight in the artistry of it. So much positivity. I mean, I can't sing her praises enough, and she's just an incredible artist, which is one of the many reasons that I'm excited to be working in Einstein's Girl with her.
I'm not sure. What do you think of Gia? I'm not sure.
Do you
like her? Or?
You want me to tell you what I really think? And plus, I'm so glad because this is one of the first times I've worked with my wife on an artistic project.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
so
that's really cool.
So that's really great to have Devin being a part of it and part of Gia's work, and then also doing her own opening set. She's going to do about 20 minutes of original stuff, and her work is really extraordinary too. She's
Fantastic.
as part of a rock band called Lunar Rogue. She's performed at Hard Rock Hollywood and Whiskey A Go Go and the Viper Room and House of Blues on the Sunset Strip and all these great venues too. So she's really kind of a girl of the rock world and kind of folk rocky too, and she's just very eclectic as well and bringing an amazing presence to this show.
Very cool.
So that's good. Once again, Gia Mora is Einstein's Girl. 323-467-7444, The Gardenia, Hollywood, Thursday, February 21st, 9 p.m. I hope to see you all there.
Boom.
Be
Boom.
there.
Exactly. And
Good
can I
stuff.
mention one more thing?
Please.
It's unrelated to this, but if anybody living in Nashville, I don't know if we have any Nashville listeners.
I'm
do
sure.
we?
What do we have Nashville listeners?
Do we have any
Ben,
Nash-
Eric?
Yes, we do.
We do
All
have
right.
Nashville
All right.
listeners.
Sounds
Great.
good.
There is a great publication called the Deli Nashville, and they're doing something where they're choosing the top breakthrough artist, music artist, indie artist in Nashville 2012. You can vote for it online, and I have a friend who's also she graduated the same alma mater as me, named Anna Haas, who's a wonderful artist in the Nashville music scene. You have to check her out. And if anybody knows of the Deli Nashville, if anybody's there, go on, vote for Anna. She's amazing. She's going to do great things.
Is that the daily or the deli?
Deli, like a deli where you would buy pastrami. That's sort of a deli.
Good stuff.
So
vote for Anna.
for Anna Haas, Haas, an amazing new singer-songwriter on the Nashville music scene.
Jonathan White from the Pasadena Playhouse, who's also working on the GM Morris show, who also has friends in contests at the Deli Nashville.
I know.
mean, you
A lot of
do it
irons
all.
in the fire.
Yeah.
A lot of irons in the fire.
Good stuff. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Dorothy.
I want to say to Michael Sterling, who just called me on my cell phone, Michael, please give us a call now at 323-247-7443, 323-247-7443, so that we can talk to you about your show. Michael Sterling was the special surprise guest, but it's not such a surprise anymore now that I've said it. But call us, Michael, and you'll hear the show in your ear, and just hold on, and we'll be sure to get to you. I'm going to take a quick break and be back with Julio Arroyo. If you have
done.
any questions
Good
for
job.
Julio, make
Eighth time
sure,
is a charm.
you know, whatever, Dillingham Blue. 323-247-7443 for any questions for Julio. We'll be back in just a minute on La La Land with Brett and Dorothy on LA Talk Live.
All right.
Welcome back to La La Land on LA Talk Live. That's Dorothy Dillingham Blue.
And that's Brett Chapin.
And we are talking today to Julio Arroyo. If you have any questions for Julio, make sure you give us a call at 323-247-7443, 323-247-7443. And Michael Sterling, who is holding on the line, just hold on, and we will get to you right after we're done with Julio. Julio Arroyo is a dance instructor. Julio Arroyo does Teen Adventure Challenge, and he is also a part of the Take Action Leadership campaign. Where do you want to start, Julio?
Where to start?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with how we know each other, Brett.
Okay.
I had the pleasure of meeting Brett, what is it now, 2 or 3 years ago?
I think it's been 4 years now.
4 years.
It's 2009.
4 years ago while we were performing out in Simi Valley doing West Side Story. Brett was my Officer Krupke, and I was Peppy.
What? No, I was Lieutenant Schrank.
Oh, that's what I meant.
The other one was
That's
Krupke.
exactly
Yeah.
what I meant, and I was just trying to see if you remembered because it's been 4 years now.
good stuff.
You're smart like that.
No, you know. I'd like to keep him on his toes.
Hello. That's why. That's why you're a
Pepe.
dance instructor. You keep them on their toes, right?
Very good. There
Thank
go,
you.
Dorothy.
Thank you.
No
I'm a
pun
tapper.
intended.
I'm a tapper.
Pepe was one of the sharks. It was very cool working with you on that show.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
And what about you? Let's talk about you.
So-
Tell us a little bit about Take Action Leadership Camp, maybe? You
Yeah,
wanna start there?
my background is in dance, and I've been out in California now for 6 years and moved into arts education when I got here, and I've had the pleasure of working with some great organizations, including the Beyond the Bell branch of the Los Angeles Unified School District, who oversees the Take Action Leadership campaign, now in its 5th year. And it's a campaign geared around leadership. It started specifically for high school students and has now branched off and includes middle schools as well as charter high schools. So we started with 4 schools 5 years ago, and this year we have, 42 high schools and 12 middle schools.
All right.
Yeah, so it's a year-long campaign geared around social activism, bridging the transition for young students from middle school to high school to help reduce dropout rates, as well as providing tutoring and leadership skills and job training while in high school to increase test scores. And also very big as in advocating for arts education and making sure that it stays in the school, as well as science, technology, engineering, and math.
Really cool.
That's a lot
Exciting
going
stuff.
on.
There is a lot going on. We get about 2 weeks off after our big end of year event, and then we start planning again. And every May, we're at Paramount Studios on the New York City street set with 3 stages with concurrent performances going on.
Wow.
By all the schools in 8 different arts categories, which is extremely exciting. So to learn more, you can check out the Take Action Leadership Campaign website, which is takeactionleadershipcampaign.org.
You read my mind. I was about to say, how do people get information? Good
Yes.
stuff.
So a lot of exciting stuff going on there. And then I came to that position and that job through an after-school agency that I work for, which is ARC, located here in Inglewood, just down the road from La La Land. And I've been with them also since I moved to LA. And one of the partner organizations is Core Educational Services. And I've been fortunate because they're both huge advocates of arts education, but also improving our youth's lifestyles by exposing them to opportunities that they don't normally have a chance to be a part of, specifically outdoor education. So the Teen Adventure Challenge is also in its 5th year and is an event that Core and ARC partner with to bring inner city youth as well as youth from neighboring cities like Long Beach and San Bernardino out to San Dimas Bonelli Park, which is right next to Raging Waters in San Dimas, for a full day of adventure courses. There are 3 legs. They get to kayak, they get to climb a rock wall, they get to mountain bike.
Whoa.
Then they also participate in team building activities. And the arts component is that there is an outdoor stage there where representatives from the participating schools can also perform and entertain the kids.
Do you have to be a teen? Can I do it? That
I
sounds
know.
fun.
I want to
Actually, no.
join.
Teams are made up of 4 teens and 1 adult racer. So by all means, we are looking
We're
for
there.
sponsors.
Totally.
We are looking for volunteers. We are looking for anybody who's interested in helping out. It takes a lot to put on this event, so
I bet.
anyone who could support financially, please visit teenadventurechallenge.com, the website, or if you would like to donate your time, volunteer to run with a team, or even donate in-kind items for the goodie bags and the prizes. All is welcome.
TeenAdventureChallenge.com.
Yes.
Check them out.
Yeah.
Did you want to? Okay, first of all, Julio had a little issue during West Side Story. How's your knee?
I
Because
did
a dog
have
ran.
a big
well,
issue.
I'll let you tell that story.
I forgot about that actually. Well, not really. But
Well,
I thought you might have forgotten about it. So
how's your knee? Was
my
basically
knee
what I
is
was gonna
doing
say.
much better.
Yes.
All things considered, I just danced for 4 hours last Saturday in this great workshop with a wonderful dance company. I'll give them a shout out. Invertigo Dance here in LA, which is a contemporary dance company. And it was an incredible day, exhausting, but a lot of fun. So while we were rehearsing for West Side Story, my neighbor's pit bull, who's a 60-pound pit bull, ran right into my knee. She just wasn't paying attention. She and my small little schnauzer liked each other and used to play in the dog run behind our building. And they were chasing each other, and I was talking to my neighbor, and she just jammed right into my knee. And so that took me out for a while.
That is the most bizarre injury I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty random.
Well, I also have hyperextended knees and have had issues with them
Okay.
prior, so that didn't really help. But fortunately, it's taken a long time, but it is doing better now.
So that was going to lead into my question about are you still doing the dance instruction? Are you
I don't
teaching
get to
dance?
teach as much as I like to. I do a lot of coaching because of my work with the Take Action Leadership Campaign and the Teen Adventure Challenge, and I do teach whenever I can, if I can sneak in there.
You'll
I
have to
do
keep me
it.
posted when you're doing your classes. 'Cause
I would love to. I definitely would. And also starting to dance again. So hopefully there'll
Very cool.
be some shows coming up, and I'll keep you posted on them.
Yes.
Julio's a heck of a dancer.
Thank
Really,
you
really
very
good
much.
stuff. Can you want to give a place where people can find if they want to find more information about you in particular? Is Teen Adventure Challenge the best place to go? or-
Information about me? No, I haven't even gotten to that point yet. But If you'd like more information specifically about the race and how you can help out, we would greatly appreciate it. And again, that website is teenadventurechallenge.com. And for the Take Action Leadership campaign, which is, again, doing great work. And by the way, I should mention that that event at Paramount Studios is the largest older youth talent show in the country, with over 2,000 students that come out every year. And that website is takeactionleadershipcampaign.org. If you'd like more information on me, you can find me on Facebook and write me.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Perfect. Arts administrator, artistic director, dance instructor, teacher, Julio Arroyo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was
Well,
a pleasure being here.
I think there's something, I started as a dancer as well, and I think there's something very special about kind of that body awareness that kind of gives you a window to your soul a lot of times, that I think helps you sort of express that and bring it out in other people. Is that something that you found to be true working with the youth?
Absolutely. Moving up and working more on the administrative side is exciting when you get to plan out and help make change specifically for arts. But what I miss the most is working directly with the youth and seeing them grow and learn and become more aware of themselves in various facets, not just in their bodies as dancers, but just as young people, is extremely rewarding. And I love the discipline that the arts, lend to all those who participate in them.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you dedicate the time to it, you dedicate the work, then you will get something back. And
Absolutely.
People want to give like 4 weeks, and it's like, no, you have to give it longer than 4 weeks. Sorry.
It takes a little more time.
It takes a little longer, but
yes.
Excellent.
It'd be so rewarding working with kids. It's really gotta be.
It is amazing. It is definitely, it's funny. I never thought that would be where I ended up. I did it a lot while I was dancing professionally in New York, just to help supplement my income. It's what a lot of dancers and actors and musicians do. We're teaching artists. But when I came out here to LA, I completely fell in love with it, and I've been very fortunate.
Very cool. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you both very much for having me.
Hey.
Do we have Michael Sterling on the line, Van Eric? We do. Okay.
Hello, Brad.
Hello.
Hey, Michael Sterling.
It's Michael Sterling. It's my first conversation with Michael Sterling. I'm very excited.
You are.
I am.
Well,
I am excited.
Michael Sterling is not only one of the hardest working theater professionals in LA, but one of the nicest, I think. And he's on the air to talk with us about his show that's opening tonight that I'm going to see.
Right, Brad.
Can you tell us a little bit about As the World Goes Round, Michael?
Oh my gosh, I would be thrilled to. Thank you for even asking. It's a wonderful, wonderful review called And the World Goes Round. It is the music of John Kander and Fred Ebb, compiled in this fascinating, seamless fashion that is kind of a new approach to the original Broadway production. As this show kind of has a lot of incarnations when it's done throughout the country, but it really embodies the most important work that Kander and Ebb did up until that particular time. And such famous material you can imagine, having written Cabaret in Chicago and the things that they have done in their careers, had done in their careers. And Mr. Kander, of course, is still alive at 85 years old and still writing, I might add. But the show is at the NoHo Performing Arts Center, or I should say the NoHo Art Center. I think that's the correct way to say that. And that's on Magnolia, right there in the heart of the NoHo Arts District, and just east of Lankershim by about a half a block. And it opens this evening, and it runs through March 10th, with performances being on Friday, Saturday, at 8 p.m. and a 3 p.m. matinee on Sundays. And one of the really most wonderful things about this show is the executive producers and the musical director. The musical director's name is Joshua Eli Krantz, and they're very vested in the education of Asperger's and autism, which, Asperger's is a derivative of autism. And they are donating all of the proceeds from the February 10th performance of this show to that very subject matter. down at UC Davis, where there is some wonderful work being done in the study
Oh,
of
that's
past memory.
fantastic.
It's great.
Yeah, it really, really is. It's an amazing, it produces some amazing people in history. I mean, have been afflicted by this, and it certainly has not done anything else but produce a brilliance from them in the world, including such people as Albert Einstein. And the list is so long.
It
These
is, yeah.
people that have an amazing and extraordinary ability to latch on to some particular thing, that they accelerate at. And they're often misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, of course, people that term wasn't used because it hadn't been discovered yet. But
Right.
there's so much to learn about this, and this show is just another vehicle. But through entertainment, we learn a lot of things, and seeing this work is giving back in some sort of way, by the theater patron to the brilliance of something else that actually is a brilliance. That's what I like to refer to it as anyway. It's not, Asperger's should not be thought of anything than someone being a little different than you are. And we all have our idiosyncrasies, and we all have our specialties.
Especially in the arts. I think that
Exactly.
is very much, well, I I was working at a summer camp, and one of my kind of half things is that there was a kid that lived in my neighborhood that went to this camp, and it was kind of across town. So the parents said, hey, do you mind if this kid rides with you? And I said, sure. And they said, oh, by the way, he has Asperger's, so here's a few things. He tends to talk about a particular subject for a while and all that. But I just found completely, he could talk about Jude Law for 30 minutes and he would give you all these different things. And but the funny thing was, is if ever I was kind of like over a subject, I'd be like, Henry, can we have a new subject? He'd go, why, yes. Did you know that quantum physics? And then he would go on about quantum physics for but I loved it. I mean, and now he's producing music. He's in high school now. He lives in Minnesota. Henry Wenzel, if you're listening in, how you doing? And producing music, and because we would start talking about music, and then he was not averse to finding out about a new subject too. So now he's DJing, he's producing music, and so it's really fun to hear. I communicate with him on Facebook, and he'll be like, hey, I produced this song, can you listen to my new set and all that? And it's really fascinating to work with these students who have a lot to offer, and I think that's
so much. The possibilities are infinite. I mean, really, it's been a wonderful education for me personally, just being involved in this production, because it's been so thoughtfully handled, and especially from the they actually had the other night for the cast people that since they were doing a performance specifically for this, the best we all know absolutely everything that we can, and they actually had one of the a wonderful woman in town come in and speak about this, because that's exactly what she does, for the city. She's a caseworker, and who knows better than those who have their hands on the situation on a daily basis. And wow, it was so informative, and really the hair is standing up on my arms, because some of the stuff that we learned was just outstanding. Just what you cited in that conversation that you had with that young man. That kind of brilliance, exists. And instead of being afraid of it or not being able to put your finger on it as an outsider looking into that, accepting it as you did, is exactly what it's all about. And it's acknowledging someone that has the wherewithal that's in their own genetic makeup to go to that place and be that brilliant about that. Why they might be a little different on something else, but don't we all have those kinds of idiosyncrasies? Don't we all specialize in one thing and not another? I mean, that's really what it's about. So,
absolutely. Now, I gotta say, I'm really excited to come see the show, because one of my favorite songs is Arthur in the Afternoon.
Oh, yes.
I love that song. It's one of my favorites. It's so cheeky and fun, and I just love it.
Is that from As the World Goes Round? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the show it's from?
It's certainly included in the show, yes. It's a collection
fantastic.
of their work. But I will tell you something. This cast is, believe me, Brett knows this. I produce cabaret theater, and cabaret concerts, rather, I should say, at my own supper club in the NoHo Arts District, right up the street from the NoHo Arts Center. Sterling's upstairs at the Federal. So I've been doing this in town for 6 years, and I have seen and know the Broadway community at large here quite well, those who are singers. And this cast, I actually only knew one of them, Kristen Towers-Rawls.
Who we know as well, yes.
We know Kristen.
Yes, she's a wonderful, wonderful singer. What a gift she is, and actress. And she's so amazing in this show. And her colleagues in the show are equally as talented, and just it's a stunning ensemble. When you get lucky and you've cast the show just perfectly, it's like your dream cast. That's what's happened here. And some of them are new to Los Angeles. A couple of the kids are from New York. Erica Hanrahan, I'm going to say that slowly because I think that's the correct way of pronouncing her name. And then it's hyphen Ball, Erica Hanrahan Ball, Emily King Brown, Isaac James, Kristen, of course, Kristen Towers-Rawls, and Ryan Rouge, who is phenomenal. They're all phenomenal. And it's if you've never seen this show before, you are in for a hold on to your seat ride through this amazing body of work that they have done. And not a word is ever spoken. It is one seamless song leading into another, and you totally understand the story as a result of the way the songs are weaved into the order of which they are throughout the show. And of course, there's an intermission, and you come back for more, and it's just really beautiful. So I hope you have a chance to see it. You're certainly welcome. I know Brett's coming this evening. Right?
Yes, I can't wait. I'll be there tonight.
Good. And you're bringing a guest. Is that you, Dorothy, or no?
No, I won't be there this time, but I plan on being in the seats soon.
Well, let us know. Let me know. Let Brett know, and we'll take good care of you. We'd love
Great.
to see it.
Yay.
And then sometimes perhaps you can stop by at Sterling's upstairs at the Federal and see what we do there, too.
That's on Sundays, right, Michael?
Yes, on Sundays and some select Mondays, actually.
And you also host State of the Arts on LA Talk Radio.
Yes, I do. One radio colleague to another. Thank you for giving me the plug.
No problem. You guys should definitely be checking that out. And you also, do you want to talk a little bit about your showcase that you run?
Well, yeah, just very briefly, because it really, today is a big day with the show opening. But and I so appreciate you even wanting to have me on. I love that about you, Brett. You're always very polite and persistent with me, and you know that I get sometimes a little bit too busy, so I apologize for that.
I appreciate you calling in, Michael. Thanks.
You're the ultimate gentleman, and I happen to like you on top of it, so it's all.
Oh, shucks.
Seriously. LA's next great stage star is what you're talking about, and this is something that is very personal with me, and it's kind of a give back to the Broadway community here at large that we do on an annual basis. But this is the 7th year, and what this is exactly is a competition directed toward discovering and introducing new, young musical theater talent to the hierarchy of the Broadway community of producers, directors, artistic directors, choreographers, the important agents in town, the equity agents, etc. And it has just taken on a life of its own through these years. We select through an audition process every year 20 contestants who compete in an American Idol type of foundation, I guess, if I had to refer to something. It is patterned, though, after this audition process. So every week, all 20 of them sing, in front of which will, when all is said and done, will be a total of 20 judges from our musical theater community here. So those judges pass through the competition in smaller panels of 4, sometimes 5, mostly 5, actually. And these are the people, these young people who are coming out of universities, SC and UCLA and UCI and Fullerton and et cetera, and coming down from San Francisco. I mean, the reach now of people being interested in auditioning for this competition has really gone way beyond the boundaries of which we had ever expected. But
what's the best way for people to find more information about it?
About the competition itself is to go on to actually my company website, which is www.m as in Michael, S as in Sterling, A as in Associates, P as in Public, R as in Relations.net, and click on the Sterling's at a Federal butterflies there on the menu, and that'll take you to that page, and you can read more about the competition itself as well. You have to scroll down to read all about it, and it's unfortunately anybody listening to this, we are sold out. I guess that's a fortunate thing for me, and not so much for somebody else. But the competition usually sells out before we open, so it's 6 weeks long.
Go to msapr.net for all the information on that.
Yeah, they'll also find out more about Sterling's upstairs in general. So it's all probably more than they even want to know. But,
well, Michael
we
Sterling.
appreciate it. So we're having a ball, and our winner will be determined on February 10th, and they get $1,000 cash from me. They get a headlining engagement at the nightclub, which is paid. And they get a beautiful suite at the Sheraton Universal Hotel and for the evening because they're coming back a star. And they also get signed by the top agents in town, and many of them begin their professional careers the next morning, literally. And in the past 7 years that we've been doing this competition, 8 of our contestants have now made their debuts on Broadway.
You are paying it forward, Mr. Sterling.
There you go.
You're definitely paying it forward.
Something like that. We're very, as I said, very passionate about it. So it all comes around, Brett. You know that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for having me on the air with you, both of you. I really appreciate your courtesy and letting me speak to you. So
absolutely, I'm so pleased to have you on the show, and we'll have to get you in here one of these days in person.
Would love that. Really would love that. When
Excellent.
I can come up for air, I would love that, and we'll have to reciprocate and have you on our show as well.
Well, thank you, Michael. Michael Sterling, msapr.net. That's MSA. Wait till the audience calms down. msapr.net. Thank you, Michael.
You're best. Thanks, Dorothy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dorothy had to take off. She runs the youth theater at Theater Palisades, and she's running over there to get working on High School Musical. Julio Arroyo and Jonathan White, thank you so much for joining us. And Jonathan White had one other thing.
Yes, one thing I forgot to mention before, I wanted to do a special thanks to the amazing, incredible Ken Werther, who is not only I mean, everybody loves Kenny, but he's not only a wonderful professional in theater in LA, but a generous spirit and a great friend. And he is helping out with Einstein's Girl. He was doing a lot of amazing work for the Pasadena Playhouse last fall. So I just wanted to thank Ken. And just, PasadenaPlayhouse.org, gmora.com, and anybody in Nashville, Anna Haas. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, Brett.
And Julio Arroyo, teenadventurechallenge.com. And don't tell me, takeactionleadershipcampaign.org.
Correct.
Good stuff.
Thank you so much, Brett.
Thanks. Next week, we are going to be having Lena Gwendolyn, actress and opera singer. She is working with the International City Theater right now in Long Beach. We're also going to be talking with Cindy Marie Jenkins and Doug Oliphant, who are working with Directors Lab West right now, putting on their Directors Lab West that they do every year, which I was able to be a part of a what do you call it? A symposium at the Pasadena Playhouse, as a matter of fact, for Directors Lab West last year. Big event. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a great event at the Playhouse. It's going to be wonderful this year as well. So I'm glad that you're excited, Brett.
Good stuff. And we're also going to be talking with Allison Volk and Brooke Bishop. They are with City Shakes, cityshakes.com. They are the producer and actors of Taming of the Shrew going on at City Shakes. That's a tongue twister.
It could turn into something you don't want to say on the radio.
I know. We're actually allowed to say those things here, though, at LA Talk Live.
That's right. The FCC has no rules and regulation on internet radio, so feel free to speak your mind.
Well, I would, but I think I'll let Brett say it the next time he's trying to say City Shakes.
Cityshakes.com for any information on that. And that's it For Dorothy Dillingham Blue, I'm Brett Chapin. This is La La Land Talk on LA Talk Live, and we'll see you at the top.